What if we're not alone? It's a question humanity has pondered for millennia, staring up at the vast, silent cosmos. But what if one day, the cosmos stared back? What if a message arrived, not from angels or gods, but from an intelligence far beyond our stars? That's the profound territory explored in the 1997 film Contact, based on the novel by the legendary Carl Sagan. It's a story about science, faith, politics, and one woman's relentless search for answers that takes her and us to the very edge of the universe and human understanding.
Poetry. I should have said the poet.
Get ready because we're diving deep into the signal. Our journey begins not in the stars, but with a young girl named Ellie Arroway. From a very young age, huddled over an old shortwave radio with her beloved father, Ted, Ellie felt the pull of the unknown. Making contact with someone as far away as Pensacola, Florida felt like touching another world. Her father nurtured her insatiable curiosity, teaching her to make small moves on the dial, searching between the static for hidden signals, famously telling her that if it's just us in this vast universe, it seems like an awful lot of space is going to waste. This bond, this shared sense of cosmic wonder, becomes the bedrock of Ellie's life. Tragically, this connection is severed when Ellie is just 9. Her father dies suddenly in a horrific accident, leaving her feeling utterly alone beneath the immense dome of the night sky. In the aftermath, clinging to the roof or talking into the silent shortwave, Ellie's childhood fascination crystallizes into a lifelong quest. A search not just for extraterrestrial intelligence, but perhaps for the connection she lost, for proof that we aren't adrift in a meaningless void. Years later, we find a driven, brilliant Ellie Arroway arriving at Caltech. She quickly finds her tribe among fellow science nerds, debating radioluminosity over fruity pebbles. Here, she also encounters the pragmatic, ambitious, and often cynical Dr. David Drumlin, a leading radio astronomer, and Palmer Joss. Their connection is immediate, both intellectually and romantically, culminating under the vast desert sky near the Goldstone telescopes. But the path of a SETI researcher is fraught with challenges. Drumlin, representing the scientific establishment, actively discourages Ellie from pursuing SETI for her dissertation, calling it career suicide and questioning her motivations. Despite the setbacks, Ellie perseveres. She secures funding through private investors, sometimes barely scraping by, eventually landing precious observation time at the Very Large Array, or VLA, in Sapporo, New Mexico. Here, she joins a team of dedicated, slightly eccentric scientists, including the blind but brilliant Kent Cullors, who experiences the radio sky through sound. The work is grueling, often monotonous, cataloging pulsars, searching star after star with no results. Ellie pushes herself relentlessly, listening for patterns in the noise, even pressing her ear against washing machines in the dead of night, searching for order in the chaos, practicing the art of listening. Just as her funding is about to be completely cut by the now powerful Drumlin, it happens. Late one night, amidst the static, Ellie detects a faint, irregular pulsing sound. Checking the coordinates, right ascension 18 hours, 34 minutes, declination plus 38 degrees, 41 minutes, and the frequency, hydrogen times pi, a fundamentally universal mathematical constant. The team locks onto a strong, unmistakable signal originating from the Vega system, 26 light-years away. The signal isn't just noise, it's structured. It pulses in a sequence of prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. Prime numbers are the building blocks of mathematics, a pattern that simply cannot occur naturally. This is it. Contact. Verification quickly comes from an observatory in Australia. The world ignites. Chaos erupts as the news breaks. The VLA is swarmed by media, protesters, and government officials. National Security Advisor Michael Kitts arrives, concerned about the security breach of Ellie sharing the signal globally. Drumlin, ever the opportunist, positions himself at the center of the discovery. The signal, however, reveals another layer. Nested within the primes is a video signal. As Ellie and the team work frantically, a grainy black and white image resolves on screen. Adolf Hitler opening the 1936 Berlin Olympics. The world reels. Why Hitler? As Drumlin explains, the 1936 Olympics broadcast was the first powerful television signal sent into space. The vegans simply recorded the first thing they heard and sent it back as a hello, proof they received our faint whisper across the void. But the implications are massive, sparking global debate and fear. Just as the world grapples with this, Lunacharsky discovers a third layer hidden within the signal. A palimpsest, writing hidden beneath writing. This layer contains thousands upon thousands of pages of complex data, like otherworldly hieroglyphics. But there's no key, no primer to decode it. The message cycles back to page 1, leaving the scientists stumped. Hope dwindles until Ellie receives a cryptic message from the enigmatic, reclusive billionaire industrialist, S.R. Haddon. Flying her to his custom transport plane circling the Earth, Haddon reveals he's found the primer. It wasn't a separate section. It was embedded in the page break signal at the end of every page, a brilliant way to ensure decryption, even with an incomplete transmission. The primer unlocks the message. It's a blueprint, incredibly complex instructions for building a machine. Analysis suggests it's a transport device of some kind. But what kind? And is it safe? The world grapples with the decision. Should humanity build this alien machine? The project is greenlit, a massive international effort headquartered in Machine, Texas, but the questions intensify. A rigorous selection process begins to choose a single human representative to travel in the machine. 10 candidates, including Ellie and Drumlin, undergo intense physical and psychological testing. Ellie argues for honesty and openness, believing humanity should present itself warts and all. Drumlin argues for a more pragmatic, politically savvy approach, emphasizing caution and control. Religious figures like Palmer Joss, now a presidential advisor and confidant, and Richard Rank, representing the religious right, weigh in, questioning the theological implications and potential dangers. Joss, despite his faith background, finds himself drawn to Ellie's scientific integrity and profound, almost paradoxical, faith in the search itself. Their conversations delve into the nature of proof, belief, love, and meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe. Joss challenges Ellie's deep-seated fear of connection, stemming from her early loss. The selection committee faces an impossible choice, but ultimately the political calculation wins out. David Drumlin is chosen as humanity's ambassador. Ellie is devastated but composed. Drumlin visits her, confessing his own ambition and acknowledging Ellie truly deserved the seat. A moment of unexpected honesty before he embraces his triumph. As the world watches the final activation sequence in Texas, disaster strikes. A religious extremist named Joseph, disguised as a technician, infiltrates the site and detonates explosives, triggering a catastrophic implosion of the machine, killing Drumlin and hundreds of others. The dream seems dead. But S.R. Haddon has one last trick up his sleeve. From his private space station orbiting Earth, where he lives to slow the advance of his cancer, he reveals to Ellie that a second machine was secretly built concurrently in Hokkaido, Japan. The project is back on, and this time, there's no question who the passenger will be. Ellie Arroway will go. The next day, Ellie boards the second machine. The giant benzels spin, the structure hums with incomprehensible energy. Radio contact is lost. Inside, Ellie feels an immense acceleration as the machine plunges through a series of wormholes, a cosmic subway system. She witnesses breathtaking sights. Vega, immense artificial constructs, multiple star systems, floating alien cities, the violent, beautiful heart of the galaxy itself. The journey is overwhelming, inducing tears, laughter, profound awe. They should have sent a poet, she murmurs. Ellie passes out. She awakens on a beach. Pristine white sand, turquoise water, palm trees, a landscape ripped from her childhood drawing of Pensacola. And walking towards her is her father, Ted. Ellie is overwhelmed, embracing him, knowing yet desperately wanting to deny that he isn't real. The alien intelligence, communicating through this familiar form, explains they accessed her thoughts while she was unconscious, creating this environment to make contact easier. They are not gods, but ancient travelers, caretakers of the vast interstellar transport network, built by an even older, unknown civilization long gone. They listen for emerging species, offering connection, sometimes help, because life is unspeakably rare and precious. They reveal that humanity, capable of such exquisite dreams and horrifying nightmares, seems lost. The core message, delivered through the comforting presence of her father, is simple yet profound. The one thing that makes the emptiness of the void bearable is each other. Connection. Love. Ellie pleads to stay, to bring back proof, but the alien explains it doesn't work that way. Humanity must take the next steps on its own. With a promise to consider her request, the entity sends her back. Ellie finds herself emerging from the machine in Hokkaido. But for the anxious controllers, only 7 minutes and 35 seconds have passed. The machine, they claim, never went anywhere. The aftermath is crushing for Ellie. Her helmet recorder captured only static, 18 hours of it intriguingly, but static nonetheless. She has no proof. At a hostile congressional hearing, she faces intense scrutiny from Kits and others. They question her sanity, accuse her of hallucination or perpetrating a hoax. Pressed on whether she can prove her experience scientifically, Ellie, adhering to the standards she's lived by, admits she cannot. Yet she refuses to deny the reality of her journey. In a powerful, moving testimony, directed as much to Palmer Joss in the gallery as to the committee, she speaks of her experience, the vision of the universe, the sense of awe and connection, the feeling that we belong to something greater than ourselves, that none of us is alone. It's a statement of faith, not necessarily religious faith, but faith in the meaning derived from the experience itself. The world remains divided, riots continue, the machine is entombed in concrete. But Ellie, though publicly doubted, finds personal peace and connection with Joss. They ponder the lingering questions. Why no proof? Perhaps the experience transcended simple recording. Perhaps the proof will come in time, in humanity's own evolution. Or perhaps, as Ellie suggests, meaning isn't something found, but something made. Through connection, through love, through the continued search. Contact leaves us not with easy answers, but with profound questions. Was Ellie's journey real, or a technologically induced hallucination designed by the machine itself, perhaps by Haddon? Does the 18 hours of static hold a hidden meaning? The film doesn't definitively say. Instead, it offers a vision of the universe far grander and more complex than we can easily comprehend, suggesting that whether we look outward to the stars or inward to the human heart, the search for connection, for meaning, for our place in the cosmos, is the journey that truly matters. It challenges us to tolerate paradox, to hold science and faith, wonder and skepticism together as we continue our own small moves across the vast dial of existence.